One of the characteristics that is particular in French is accents, and it makes a difference in term of pronunciation. Also, the meaning of the word can change with or without an accent. So what about learning this today? First, you are going to learn the different accents that we use in French. There are 4 different accents in French. The first accent you are going to learn today is acute accent.
L'accent aigu.
After that, it will time for you to understand the pronunciation of the grave accent.
L'accent grave.
There is also another accent that you probably don't know, which is the circumflex accent.
L'accent circonflexe.
And the last one is probably a new accent as well, and I'm speaking about the umlaut.
Le tréma.
Alright. Let's move on to the first accent, acute accent. So, first of all, you need to know that it's an accent that is only used over the E letter. There is a difference in pronunciation between the E letter with and without an accent. You can hear it right now. The first letter will be without the accent, and the second one with it.
E.
I give you 4 examples, just for you to hear how it sounds in a word.
Absorber. Abuser. Accoler. Accélérer.
So, now we are going to cover another well-used accent, the grave accent. About the grave accent, you first need to know that we use it with the E, the A, and the U letters. This accent is particular, because sometimes the pronunciation is different than without the accent, and some others it remains the same. It depends on the letters. About the E letter, the pronunciation changes. You can understand the difference thanks to the next pronunciation. The first letter will be without the accent, and after it will be with it.
E.
Concerning the A letter, the pronunciation remains the same with the accent. It's the same pronunciation as the one in my video about alphabet. Also, for the U letter, the pronunciation remains the same with the accent. Now, you can hear 4 examples with the grave accent.
Père. Rivière. Voilà. Où.
Another accent that we are going to cover in this video is the circumflex accent. We can write it in more letters than the previous accents, and we can write this accent over all the vowels, except Y letter. About the pronunciation, there is a difference between the letter without and with the accent. You can hear it right now, starting by the letter without an accent.
P. E.
Concerning the O letter with a circumflex accent, there is also a difference in pronunciation. A very slight difference, but you can hear it right now starting with the letter without an accent.
O. O.
Now, with reference to the 2 following letters, there is no changes in pronunciation. Whenever we are speaking about the A letter nor the I letter. About the U letter, it's a bit more complex, because if it's preceded by the letter E, we pronounce it. But if it's preceded by another letter, the pronunciation doesn't change. Let me give you an example with each of those letters.
Être. Poster. Ma. Il. Mur.
And the last accent is umlaut. What about learning the specificities of this accent? We use it only on 2 letters, the I and the E letters. At first sight, the pronunciation might be a bit strange. The umlaut has the benefit of separating the I from the other letters meanwhile pronouncing the word. The E letter follows the same rule than the I letter. Now, I want you to hear carefully with those two examples, in order to understand what I mean by separately from the other letters.
Naïf. Noël.
The last new element you are going to learn is cedilla. In that way, you will know more about phonetics. Cedilla is only used with the C letter. It's important to understand that the pronunciation changes with the cedilla. Let me show you it with examples.
Leçon. Perçu.
Alright, so now that you have learned all the accents and cedilla, I want you to make some exercises. The exercise is the following. There will be a word on the screen, and I want you to choose whether if the first or second pronunciation is the correct one.
Commerçant. Commerçant.
The correct one is the first one, because with the cedilla the C letter has an S sound in French.
T. Tête.
This time, the correct answer is the second one, because the circumflex accent changes the pronunciation of the E letter.
Cédille. Cédille.
The correct answer is the second one. We have seen that with every accents, the pronunciation of the E letter changes compared to a word without accent.
Haïr. R.
The first answer is correct, because we have seen that with an umlaut, the letter is pronounced separately. The second word means air, like in English. So it's important not to forget to pronounce it well.
Jeune. Jeune.
This one is probably the most complex, because there is only a slight difference, but we have seen that the pronunciation of the U with a circumflex accent changes when it's preceded by a E letter.
Côte. Côte.
This one is hard, because the difference is very slight. And in fact, there are many French people that doesn't make any difference in pronunciation between those two, but as this word exists with and without accent, and doesn't have the same meaning, it's important to make the distinction between them. You have an opportunity to pronounce this word better than natives. So the right answer is the first one. Let's listen to them once again to help you figuring out the difference between with and without an accent, and we start with an accent.
Côte. Côte. Canoë. Canot.
As we have seen with the umlaut accent, we pronounce the letter separately than the others, like in the first proposition.
Zèbre. Zèbre.
The second one is the correct one, because it has the sound of a grave accent for the first E letter, and the second one doesn't have an accent. We don't pronounce it, but I will make a dedicated video about unspoken E letter. Alright. So, it's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if it's the case, you can press the like button, subscribe to receive notifications when I post new videos, and also share this video with people interested in learning French. Thank you for watching. See you soon.